That's the future for our generations. It's about time people woke up. When we hear all the time the politicians say, "We're all in it together, we're all in it together." Sadiq Khan faces intense clash with Tommy Robinson. Heated exchange stuns viewers. You're not going to believe what just went down. Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, went head-to-head with one of his fiercest critics, Tommy Robinson. And what started as a tense exchange spiralled into something far more dramatic than anyone could have predicted. This wasn't a quiet debate behind closed doors. This wasn't a carefully managed press statement. No, this was raw, live, and very public. Two figures who represent completely different sides of Britain's cultural and political divide clashing right in front of the cameras. And the fallout, it's already lighting up headlines, talk shows, and social media feeds. Welcome to Back Britain Unfold. So, let's break down exactly what happened. It began at a heated public forum where questions around law and order, immigration, and freedom of speech were being put on the table. Khan, as usual, positioned himself as the voice of inclusivity, stressing London's diversity and the need for unity. Robinson, on the other hand, didn't hold back. He accused Khan of ignoring the concerns of working-class Londoners, of brushing aside the rising frustration around policing and public safety. The atmosphere was electric, the kind of energy where every word could spark either cheers or boos, and that's exactly what happened. At one point, Robinson directly challenged Khan, saying, "You talk about unity, but you don't listen to the people who feel left behind. How can you claim to represent London when half the city feels abandoned?" Khan, visibly frustrated, shot back, "I represent all Londoners, not just the ones who shout the loudest." That single line drew both applause and anger. The crowd split right down the middle. Some cheered Khan's defence while others erupted, accusing him of dodging the real issues. But here's the thing, the clash didn't stop there. Robinson pressed harder, pointing to crime statistics, failures in housing, and even Khan's record on transport. Khan tried to keep calm, but his voice rose. His tone sharpened, and at one point he had to stop, take a breath, and compose himself. Cameras zoomed in, capturing every flicker of frustration, every pause that suggested the weight of the confrontation was hitting him. And that's when the story shifted from politics to something more human. Because whether you support Khan or Robinson, what everyone saw was real tension. A rare moment when the polished image of a city leader slipped just slightly in the face of relentless pressure. Now let's talk about how people reacted. Social media exploded almost instantly. One viewer tweeted, "Khan looked rattled for the first time. Robinson hit a nerve tonight." Another wrote, "Say what you want about Tommy, but he forced the mayor to answer tough questions." But Khan wasn't without support. A Labour councillor quickly defended him online, saying, "This was a pile-on." Khan showed dignity under pressure, while Robinson grandstanded. Even commentators in the mainstream press weighed in. A columnist in The Guardian suggested the clash revealed the deep fracture in Britain's political culture, while a piece in The Telegraph argued that Khan had underestimated Robinson's ability to connect with an angry base. And here's where things get fascinating. This wasn't just about policy or performance. It was about narrative, about how two very different public figures frame Britain's biggest challenges and how ordinary people respond to that framing. Robinson thrives on being the outsider, the voice of those who feel ignored. Khan, meanwhile, has built his brand on being the establishment leader who champions multicultural London. Put them together on the same stage and you get a showdown that feels less like politics and more like a cultural earthquake. But the real question is who came out on top. Robinson's supporters say this was a victory. They argue that he exposed the mayor's weak spots, showing that Khan doesn't have clear answers for crime or social unrest. Khan's allies, however, insist he held his ground, refusing to be dragged into a shouting match, and ultimately showing composure in the face of provocation. Behind the scenes, insiders are whispering that Khan's team wasn't happy with how emotional the exchange became. One political strategist, speaking anonymously to a local outlet, admitted, "This was today's important update. We want to make it clear that our videos do not contain any kind of misinformation. Our only goal is to deliver true and verified news from across the UK, right here on Britain Unfold." If you enjoyed the video, please like, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the Britain Unfold channel. Thank you.